Hello, everyone, and welcome to Spirit Group, where we are going to be exploring the commitment of generating appreciation. And to get us started and warmed up, I have an opening for you. So I imagine you're kind of sitting in a circle or some sort of configuration. And what I'd like everyone to do is to help us start this by tapping into and expressing genuine appreciation for one another. Let's start that flow. So I invite everyone to take turns sharing one thing you appreciate about the person sitting or near your right. And the appreciation needs to be sincere, needs to be true, succinct, keep it short, but specific. Take a moment, admire the person to your right, check them out with the eyes of delight and approval and love, and focus on a quality, an action, a moment, a memory, a characteristic that has a positive impact on you. And then we're going to end this opener, and you're all going to go around until everyone's shared. If your group is small or you get through it pretty quick, you can do another round, switching directions or selecting different people. And then after the exercise, have a short discussion on how it felt to give and receive appreciation. What did each person notice about their energy or the group's dynamic? What did you notice about your energy or the group's dynamic? And my hope is that this opener sets a positive tone for deeper discussions about appreciation and how mastering the art of appreciation will make you a more mature, conscious, spiritual leader. Have fun today. See you in a little bit. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fall 2024 Spirit Groups Session 2 on Generating Appreciation. So this commitment is, I commit to living in appreciation, fully opening to both receiving and giving appreciation. The below the line commitment is, I commit to feeling entitled to what's mine, resenting when it's not acknowledged in the way that I want. So let's explore this commitment of generating appreciation a little more deeply. There's a strange phenomena that some call hedonistic adaptation. It means that without mindfulness, we get used to things we find enjoyable and pleasurable so that they no longer give us enjoyment and pleasure. The authors put this in practice by talking about the economic boom of 2007, when staff all over the country were offered perks like massage therapists and free food. But before long, the novel excitement turned into entitlement, and the complaining began. From griping about lack of personal trainers at the gym, to the massage therapist being booked a week out, or the personal affront of not having the favorite drinks and cereals properly stocked. So entitlement means believing we deserve a particular reward or benefit, whether we earned it or not, and whether the external factors have changed or not. It's a clever disguise of our old familiar spiritual block of being attached to the outcome. And when we are attached to the outcome, preference turns into expectation. Wanting turns into deserving. Something we'd like to happen becomes something we believe should happen. And in a certain way, when it doesn't, we feel like something is happening to me, and we can feel like the victim who has the right to point the finger and blame. So how do we get out of this? That's the question. So practically, we can keep changing up the perks so they seem like something extra and not an expected part of culture. But the deeper work is growing in spiritual maturity and not slipping into entitlement in the first place. So how do we do this? Mindfulness. The first step is to stay appreciative by simply paying attention. Yet for mastery, we do well to cultivate attention into sensitive awareness, where we make fine distinctions and notice the subtleties and nuances of the gift and well-being right in front of us. As we master appreciation with sensitive awareness, we make more refined observations and see with the fresh eyes of wonder, curiosity, and delight. So take partnered relationships. With appreciation and sensitive awareness, you might notice the lovely wrinkles around the eyes when your partner laughs, or the nuances of an idea that he or she has been exploring. The people in our lives become more valuable from the intention of appreciation rather than effort. Now, this is all about giving. And for many of us, we know that receiving is more challenging than giving. So as without, so within. Wise leaders, spiritual leaders, we also practice receiving appreciation from both ourselves and from others. So how does that strike you? Not surprisingly, most people find it more difficult to receive appreciation. The appreciation can be sabotaged by the inner critic who rejects. We hand off the compliment to someone else. We downgrade it. We dismiss it. We immediately say back at you to the appreciation received. And, let's get curious. Why is it so difficult to receive appreciations? Like, what's that block? So for some of us, our inner critic tries to convince us that the person giving the appreciation doesn't mean it, or if we receive it, maybe it would feel too vulnerable, or maybe the appreciation sets up an expectation that we have to show up like that all the time, and we're afraid that we can't meet it, or that it will lead to complacency and laziness, or that accepting and owning appreciation means that we're not humble in a way that we think we're supposed to be as spiritual leaders. In order to be truly more appreciative, however, we must learn to accept and receive appreciation from others. And here are some strategies to do just that. Receive every appreciation that comes your way as a gift. If your friend came to your housewarming party with a gift, would you give it back to him? Or would you hand it off to someone else? Or reject or downgrade or diminish the person? Most of us wouldn't refuse the gift, but we do refuse appreciation, which is the emotional equivalent. Refusing appreciation robs the other person of the chance to give you their gift. You cheat both of you out of an experience of growth and connection while denying a positive truth about yourself. So fully give appreciation. Refine your attention to place it on ourselves and others mindfully, watching for unique and delightful nuances of the other person and telling them about it. So that's the other thing. Receive the appreciations, but then also when you give them, fully give the appreciation. Try to catch someone being beautiful, catch someone being unique, and catch someone doing something spectacular, and then tell them about it. So let's try this exercise. Look around the room and focus on everything in the room that is white. So take a moment. Take a moment and do that. Do. Create your little mental list. Everything that's white. Okay. Now I invite you to close your eyes and name all of the blue items in the room. See how many you can come up with. And when you open your eyes, look around the room again and see all the blue things you missed. The point of this exercise is we notice what we are looking for, or as we say in New Thought, where attention goes, energy flows and grows. So over the next week, play the game of catching other people doing something good, true, and beautiful, and then tell them whenever appropriate. Now, this does not mean you never give constructive feedback. Candor is one of the commitments of conscious leadership talked about in Chapter 4. It's just that expressing appreciation is also important. And research shows that the optimal ratio is 5 appreciations for every 1 criticism to build and maintain strong relationships. So to up-level your appreciation skills, take these 3 things in mind. Always offer your appreciations with sincerity. The appreciation must be genuine, real, and true. Succinctly, keep it short. And most importantly, specificity, which comes from that sensitive awareness. And so find the nuance in it. Saying, that was a great report is much less impactful than saying, I appreciate you for the detailed financial charts in this report that help the board make a better decision for our community. So now it's your turn to practice this commitment over the coming week. You can leave 3 dimes face up on your kitchen table and commit to finding 3 people that day who you can appreciate, and do that, mindfully looking to catch people doing something good and making sure your appreciations are sincere, succinct, and specific. And please commit to that. And also use the handouts to get ideas on how to verbalize your appreciations. And then watch the following video to reinforce tips on delivering that appreciation in a way that can be deeply received. So let's take a moment to watch this 2.5-minute video on mindfully appreciating people and how to verbalize them. And then we're going to end with an activity that you can do in your own spirit group.
Appreciation. It is one of our great tools as leaders to motivate and encourage those we lead, to let them know how much they are valued, and to understand more clearly their great qualities to support their full engagement in all that they're doing. There's nothing more frustrating than, as a team member, giving it your all and feeling like no one around you values you or appreciates what you're doing. So, the art of appreciation requires 4 key things. Number 1, be brief. Appreciation is like this rich lava chocolate cake that a little bit goes a long way. So I suggest everything you can say in one exhale is the perfect amount of words to share in an appreciation. Second, be specific. So if I say, hey, I really appreciated the job you did on that with that last client, they're not going to necessarily know what you mean. But if you say specifically, I loved the way you addressed that concern that they had and brought them back to a place of calm that allowed them to get back into the game with us, they can understand more specifically what you liked. Third, be unarguable. This is an important one. You did the best job anybody's ever done in this particular way is arguable. But if you could say to them, I really liked this thing, they're more willing to take it in because their system over here is not as likely to argue with you if you say something that they don't fully resonate with. Fourth, let your whole self appreciate. It's easy to find things from our head to appreciate, but it's another thing to really let your whole body step into the experience of appreciation. And the value of that is you get to feel some of that warmth and connection as much as the person you're appreciating does. So use this great tool to help others around you feel valued and excited about being in collaboration.
I hope you enjoyed that video. And now for your activity. As the chapter says, the most effective ways to increase appreciation is by learning to embrace appreciation for yourself. Now, 2 handouts are being provided to give you guidance on how to appreciate others over the next week. But for today, I invite you to spend 15 minutes completing one worksheet about yourself. If you want to keep it a little lighter, do the coworker handout for a good baseline. And if you're feeling courageously vulnerable, perhaps do the partner appreciation handout again for yourself. After you complete it in your group, please read aloud about 10 appreciation statements of your choosing about yourself. Notice what emotions arise during this powerful exercise and embrace those emotions. So I hope you all have a wonderful time exploring the commitment of generating appreciation. And I appreciate all of you for your conscious spiritual leadership in your own life, in our beloved community Unity of Tustin, and for all the world. With gratitude. Till next time. Bye-bye.